You're getting to be an old man. That's what I'm saying. All right, let me switch gears here. Those of you on hold, 800-222-5222, please hang in there. We will get to your calls. Right now, we're going to take a brief detour to talk to Dr. Tiffany Sanders, psychologist, about some studies that showed workplace stress and dissatisfaction with your job may be adverse. Well, it's not surprising, but one of the headlines is that may be as bad as secondhand smoke. And then Mike made the glib comment that secondhand smoke isn't so bad. So let me just read you what this was. This was a study that analyzed more than 200 different studies, so it's a meta-analysis. When workers feel their jobs aren't secure, the odds of them reporting poor health rises 50%.
Oy.
When work hours are consistently long, mortality is 90% more likely. And when there are high demands in the job, chance of a worker developing a diagnosed illness rises 35%. So basically, I'm screwed. Dr. Tiffany Sanders, am I getting it right? Well, I've had cancer, so there you go. That's probably how I got it.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And the study is saying that work demands, lack of work-family balance, lack of social support at your job, heavy job demands, these things contribute to an early premature death, especially in comparison when you examine it against secondhand smoke. So what this study is saying, and we've heard this stuff over the years, is that companies need to do a better job of adjusting or modifying their work demands, their workloads, because they should be contributing to the health of their employees versus contributing to their death.
And I imagine this is something to do with cortisol. Cortisol is sort of thought of as a hormone that's not good for you, and it's a stress hormone. I'm sure adrenaline is part of it too. But what I got out of the study was what seemed to jump out at me more than anything was that if you really didn't like what you were doing and you didn't have balance, that's when you got into trouble.
Absolutely. If you didn't like what you're doing, if you don't have any balance, it's contributing also to poor mental health. So you're rating yourself as saying that you have poor mental health. Also, what it says is people who have low job control, so people who may work in maybe industries that are hourly with little room for improvement or going up the corporate ladder, that's contributing to an early death. So lack of work balance, unemployment, high job demands, things that sometimes you wish were under your control, but they're not, are contributing to the early death. And so what also stood out to me, Dr. Drew, is that we want employees to have better work-life balance, but a third of our day is spent at work, and companies have to realize their responsibility to their employees' health, and I don't think that that's occurring because 63% of Americans report they're not coping effectively with stress. So a lot of Americans are dealing with this on a regular basis.
Well, damn. We've already got to take another break. I just think that the finding satisfaction with work, or the other thing I was noticing on the studies was that a lot of it was self-reporting, and so to me, again, it means that some of it may be somatizing, some of it may actually be mental health, but in any event, whatever, however we qualify it, it's not the way to live.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah. So, Dr. Sanders, thank you guys for joining us. Where can we find you?
You can find me at drtiffanysanders.com.
Thank you so much. It's 800-222-5222. We're going to get back to your calls after this quick break.